Yes, in today's video we're going to find out if my £250 piece of crap Seat Ibiza, absolute disgusting car, is actually going to be going to the scrapyard, or if it can be salvaged in some sort of way and continue to live on its life. Now, let's just recap the last video quickly. Firstly, apologies about the wind. I do have a muffle on the camera, but it is really windy at the minute, so it might be still picking up some wind noise. But yeah, basically all this crap came out the Seat Ibiza last time I was here, and I'll show you a very quick clip of how disgusting the inside was. And although there were mould and rats in it before, it's now actually nice and clean and not in too bad a state. Now the steering wheel we are going to sort out with a steering wheel cover, because yeah, that's pretty disgusting. But we left it in the last video with the car not being able to start. So we had a problem with the immobiliser, well, and the barrel as well. So someone previously had either tried stealing the car or just lost the key, and I don't know what they're trying to achieve, but they absolutely butchered the ignition barrel. It was absolutely horrendous, and yeah, it was no good. So I ended up buying a second-hand barrel, ignition barrel with a key off eBay and fitting it. But obviously, subsequently, we had an issue with the immobiliser because it was a second-hand key and barrel. It needed code into the car. So when we tried to start the car, it started and immediately cut out, and that is where we last left the video. And I'm going to interrupt that actually. I've been charging the battery over a course of a few hours, and I was just filming then, and it's smoking like mad, and it looks like it's leaking water out the back of it, out the top of it, so it's very concerning. And it's also red hot to touch, so I'm not too sure what's going on with the battery, but it doesn't like being charged. I've turned it off now. I might leave it to cool down for 5 minutes, because it's literally just melting up. The charge leads aren't hot, but yeah, I don't actually know what's going on there. So I'm going to leave it to cool down for 5 minutes before we try and start the car. So yeah, while that's hopefully sorting itself out, in between this video and the last video, I actually got a key coded. Now, a lot of you guys said to get around the immobiliser, you can hold the old key on top of the new key, and it detects the immobiliser and let it start. Now, I did actually forget to say in the last video, I had already tried that, and I knew it wouldn't work because there was about 3 different key blades for the car in the passenger foot, or the driver's footwell, along with the broken key blade. So I knew it wasn't the right key for the car anyway, and that was confirmed, because the first thing that I tried to get the guy to do when he come to code the new key was just to see if he could remove the immobiliser chip out of the old key and put it in a new key. And yeah, the immobiliser was live, it was working, but yeah, it just was not the right key for the car. So unfortunately that didn't work, and we've had to have a whole new key coded. So yeah, he's just done that. Well, we did it a couple of days ago, but I haven't filmed since. And we'll try and start the car, but yeah, 5 more minutes. Right, it seems to have stopped smoking now and cooled down a little bit, so hopefully this will be okay. Oh, I think the battery might be blown up, you know, or something's wrong with it. Yeah, the battery's not happy, is it? Yeah, quick check. I've had the battery in charge for about 3 hours, and it's only managed 6.5 volts, and it got very hot. So, battery knackered, more money. Fantastic. Now, I've just actually fitted the battery that's meant for the TVR, which means the terminals are back to front, or they're the wrong way around. So I've actually kind of forced it on, and it needs a new battery, but it will do. Hopefully it means we can start the car. Obviously, I know that the immobiliser has been fixed, so I know the car starts and won't cut out straight away, but I don't know any more than that. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know if it runs properly or what. So let's what a beast. Running, sounds alright, apart from the awful fact that it's missing a back box. Let's give it a few oh yeah. Oh. Yes. Absolutely awful. Well, it seems to run. I mean, apart from the fact that the exhaust sounds awful, seems to run okay. So next stage will be obviously, let's get the steering wheel on, drive it up to the workshop hopefully, and get it in the workshop, and we'll have a look over the damage and see if this car can be salvageable. The engine runs, so we're off to a good start. So while my body double is actually in the front refitting the steering wheel, I just want to give a massive thanks to today's sponsor, who is Y-Food. Now, Y-Food is a meal replacement drink, not to be confused with a diet shake. They contain around 500 calories for the bottle, 400 calories for the powder, and the idea is that they replace either your breakfast, lunch, or dinner throughout the day as a healthy alternative. Now, they are great for people that are always on the go, like myself, so I always keep a couple in the van, in the transporter, a couple in the workshop. They don't need to be refrigerated, so they are great with a long shelf life as well, and they contain 26 different vitamins and minerals in. Now, if you've used them before, you guys know what you're doing, but if you haven't, I recommend trying the starter pack, and I'll put a link to their website in the description below, and if you use my discount code, you can get an extra 10% off at checkout, guys, and I recommend that you choose the starter kit if you're new to Y-Food. So a massive thanks to Y-Food for sponsoring today's video. Now, I think my steering wheel is just about fitted. And just like that, the steering wheel is fitted. Magic. I'll refit the airbag at a later date, but let's just, oh yeah. Let's just get it going for a start. Oh, hold on. Windows work. It's always good. Now let's see if the gearbox and clutch work. Still a bit iffy about touching this car, but... Oh, yes. Oh, it's manual. Bloody manual. There we go. This sounds awful. But it's moving, which is a start. I'm about to hit a fence. Quite rough. Oh, beautiful. Now, for those of you who haven't seen the M2 vids, go click in the top right hand corner and catch up on this, because it has no roof. And to be fair, I've been quite generous and filmed the rear end, which is pretty much complete. The rest of the car is a mess. But let's now start this up and get this outside, because it is very loud. What a lovely variety of cars I'm working on at the moment, from 630 brake to probably not even 63 brake, let's be honest. I still don't even know if it's a 1.2 or 1.4, I should probably find that out. Now, driving in, yeah, it didn't feel great. I don't know if that's because these are definitely the wrong wheels for the car. It did feel like it was scrubbing on the inside. I felt some knocking, some suspension knocking as well. Some CV boot, didn't feel great. So there's definitely some problems, but fingers crossed they are alleviated, because the wheels are wrong. So if we change the wheels, hopefully that will alleviate the problem. So yeah, let's get it on the ramp and find out everything wrong with my £250 piece of crap. So we'll start on the midriff section, and I'm going to start with the wheels and tyres, because that was one of my concerns. They look like someone's just bolted 4 space savers on. And a bit of a trick, now I don't know if this is common knowledge, but what I found is that if you go on Black Circle's website and you put in the registration of the car, it actually tells you what size tyres that you should have. Now, I've just put the reg of this car in, and it's come back and said I should have 175 70/14s all round, and I'm not far off. They are wrong, but not too bad. So I have 175 80/14s. So for people that don't know, 175 is your width, so it's 17.5 centimeters wide, the tyre. 80 means it's 80% of the width. So this sidewall here is 80% of 175, which I've just done is 14. So that's 14 centimeters is this dimension, and 14 is just the rim size, so it's 14 inches across. Now it should be a 70, which means 70% of 175, which is 12.25 centimeters. So basically my sidewall here is 1.75 centimeters taller than it should be, which gives me a rough rolling radius addition of about 5 centimeters. So that's the only downside. It will just put the speedo out, but most car speedos underread by about 3-4% anyway. So if the speedo is reading 50, the actual speed would be about 46, 47. So basically these additional sidewall here will just mean that the actual speed of the car is more relative to what it's saying on the clock. So that's the only difference that it's going to make. The wheels spin fine, it's the correct width, so there's nothing impacting anything else. So I'm happy with that, that's fine. So I'm just going to find some hubcaps to put over there, but obviously we need to sort out the locking wheel nuts as well. So that's the tyres sorted. I do need to get some hubcaps obviously to make those look a lot better, but we have coilovers fitted. I have no idea which make yet, but I'm guessing that's probably going to be the reason I can hear a lot of knocking. I'm assuming they're probably cheap coilovers considering the car. On the rear it doesn't have coilovers, it just has springs, but it does have uprated dampers, and this one is leaking. So yeah, I need to see how bad that's leaking. This one isn't, but I can't see what make they are. I might have to have a look, see if we can see what make they are. But we have coilovers on the front. Oh yes, look at that. What an absolute thing of beauty. Oh, Jesus, what on earth is this? Is that a straight through? All the way through, look. No silent, does it even have DPF? Yeah, I think I've got DPF just. But what an absolute beast. That's awful. Oh God, right, anyway, yeah, I mean, it's whether it's completely leaked out, it looks quite dry, but evidence of past leaking, so I imagine that's probably been leaking for a while. This one looks okay, but I still, oh, JDM, is that, or is that John? No, John. JOM Car Parts. I've never heard of them. Please let me know in the comments if anyone else has heard of them. And if you have, what type of make are they? Are they any good? We've got a hanging down cable here, which, yeah, it looks like it should be hooked up here. What else we got? It's not too bad. Looking down the car. Right, I had knocking, but as I said, I heard quite a lot of knocking on the front, but I'm now guessing that that is probably all to do with the coilovers. I'm just gonna have a quick look around, and I'm going to draw you to anything that I find. Yeah, so it didn't take me long. I found my knocking noise on the offside front. Now, actually I don't know what it is yet, I haven't looked, but I just thought I'd show you. If you just concentrate on the top of the wheel and the strut. See that? It's hard to show you. Let me try and put the camera down so I can show you. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but see and hear that? It's the whole strut moving. So let's just put it up and see why it's moving like that. This one is the one that looks horrendous anyway, so no doubt that is my knocking noise, because that's quite bad. So just before I get ahead of myself and start stripping down this shot, let's just check a few other things work, such as the lights, because yeah, we've obviously got that number plate light hanging out the back, and also I remember, if you remember, I had this wire here and can't quite see where it goes. Now there's a broken bit of trim on something in here, and it looked like it might come out of there. So let's just turn the ignition on and check the old lights. So headlights are working, but we have some LED side light bulbs, and neither of which are working, so they need to be replaced. So let's just check the indicators. Indicators, 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 indicators. So yeah, number plate light doesn't work, but the bulb's all chrome, so it probably just needs a new bulb. So 3 side lights required, not too bad. So after going over the car, the only thing I can really find is, well at the moment anyway, is this offside front coilover. Everything else underneath seems to be okay. There's nothing obvious. Now that doesn't mean to say there's nothing going to be an issue on road test, but I can't really road test it with that strut like that. So luckily enough, with all my locking wheel keys, I actually have 2 locking wheel keys in the glove box, so that means I should be actually able to get all the wheels off without any problems. Starting with this one. So we're going to whip this wheel off now and try and gain a bit more access to that strut in there and just see why it is bent like a banana, or knocking like a banana, or knocking like a knocker. Knocking, no, I'm going to stop. Now, I would normally have spring clamps on, but I think it's loose enough to not actually be under any pressure, so I'm just going to see if I can... yeah, it's under no pressure. It's fine. I mean, I don't know if we're going to actually find out what's wrong with it. I don't know if I'll be able to open it up. All I know is damper's not doing very well either. So I think, so I'd say I don't want to speculate because I don't 100% know how shocks work inside. I've never had one apart, but I'm guessing it's because all the fluids obviously leaked out, and that is why it's loose inside, because there's no oil to keep it all under pressure, which is obviously why it's flapping around inside like that. That's the only thing I can suggest at the minute, unless there's something else broken inside. I don't know, but whatever it is, it's going in the bin anyway. And that is where we're going to leave today's video, guys. Now, I've just ordered an offside front shock, 30 quid off eBay, second hand, obviously. I'm not going to bother changing the near side one yet, because I'm not going to keep spending money until I can get on that road test and just make sure nothing else is wrong with the car before I start spending money on all the other shocks as well. I'm just going to jack the coilover up so it kind of matches the offside one. I know, yes, the spring rate is going to be completely different, but it'll be fine for a quick road test. So yeah, everything else is looking okay on the ramp. Let me know in the comments, what did you guys think of today's video? What do you think of the Seat Ibiza? Do you think it's going to go down the road without a problem in the next video or not? I'm 50-50, I'm not 100%. So as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. Please do like this video, and also follow me on Instagram at saving_salvage, and I shall catch you in the next one. I don't think it's going to be the M2. It might be my van reveal, because I bought that for a purpose. I bought that for my business, and I need it on the road because it's just sat there. So cheers, guys.